welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Saturday, so it is time for my weekly roundup. Yay! So hopefully this is going to be a little shorter. As I mentioned in my Fridays with Fred, I've been fighting bronchitis this week, so I've kind of done some smaller projects, and I really only have one work in progress I'm going to share. The rest of it hasn't been touched that much this week. But first, we are going to do the stitch marker of the day from Ellie Leva. And I had to search because I thought I skipped a day. And indeed I did. I skipped day 6. So here we go. My numbers weren't adding up to the amount of stitch markers I had in my holder. So, day 6. We're going back in time a little bit and see what this one is. Oh, that's cool. It's a very, very dark blue with all the other features are black, and there's a little bit of pink. I think that's pink. I don't know. This is very cool. And then it's got red, white, and blue beads on it. No, don't spin on me, charm. There we go. It's going to be hard to show the details on that face because it's so dark, but that's really cool. That's awesome. So thank you. These are from Ellie Leva at Ellie Leva's Crafts and More. And now we have no more missing ones. We are up to the 8 we should have, and we'll see day 9 the next time I film a video. Okay, so what is my weekly roundup? It's where we talk about my week in crafting, my FOs, finished objects, or works in progress, whips. As I said, we're only going to talk about one whip today, and I do have 3 finished projects to show you though, and a new acquisition. Bingo and I got a creepy head. The kids call these creepy heads every time we go to Joann's or Michael's, and I decided after trying to show off that hat and having to get my head real close, perhaps I actually needed a creepy head. So here we go, my creepy head. I finished that double crochet beanie in the Big Twist Living and put Bingo's sparkly pom-pom on the top. So there we go. Boom! A finished hat. I really, 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 really like the Big Twist Living yarn. I wish they had it in more colors. Oops! That's not good. Okay, and so last week I also mentioned I was 3 hats away from finishing my LYS hat challenge. A local yarn shop near me is having a 23 hats in 23, where if you make 23 hats using yarn purchased at their store, you could earn a free hank of Madeline Tosh yarn. So I dropped off some hats. They said, oh, you only have 3 left. So I finished 2 more hats. So I do have to complete 1 more hat. And I have to take them to the store to show them. But if you're in the Facebook group, you've seen this hat. So I made another double crochet beanie out of the Noro Mirai. This yarn, I had 2 hanks of it. I don't know what to call it because it's in those kind of flat. They're not skeins. They're not hanks. They're not cupcakes. I don't know what you call them. But I had 2 of them. Brian's texting me. He took the kids to an arcade this morning. And I had some left, so I thought maybe I'd try to put a flower I made out of the yarn on it. I think it's adorable. Brian thinks it looks like a 1920s swimming cap. I get it. It does. If it was something I was wearing, I probably would have made it a little longer, but it does fit Bingo, of course, perfectly, and the flower is total Bingo. So yep, this is Noro Mirai color 4. Okay, so that's how that looks. I was holding it upside down because that is the name of the yarn. So we have that one. And that again is just a standard double crochet beanie. I did 3 rounds of single crochets at the base. The flower is a BagODay tutorial. She makes a red rose with it. This one, she uses a 4-weight yarn. This Noro was more of a 3-weight roving. So I used a smaller needle in her tutorial, she chains like 40, 41 or something. I did 90. So I made it extra long. I wasn't sure how small it would be with the smaller yarn and smaller hook. I think it turned out to be a nice size for that. And then last time when we went to drop off the hats, of course the kids were looking at yarn, and Chomps found this very pretty pink yarn. It's Cascade Canada. And this is a hand wash, cold, lay flat to dry, made in India. It was 100 gram hank, 218 yards, 200 meters. They want US 9 5.5 millimeter knitting needles. And it is 70% cotton, 30% superwash merino. This is a very cool feeling yarn. It's very interesting. I made BOD's new Quicksilver beanie out of it. And there it is. Bingo said she wanted a white palm. So it's got a white palm on it. It's a very pretty pink, and there it is. In BOD's, there was one flaw in the yarn, and there you can see it right there. It's like, instead of joining it with a knot, it was almost glued together. But there you go. In BOD's Facebook group, there was a lot of people talking about how big the hat was turning out. I used, I'm going to be honest, I forget which hook she tells you to use in the tutorial. But mine turned out perfectly, it fits my head perfectly, let me put it on. And I followed the tutorial pretty much exactly. I used a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And here it is on me. I like the hats a little slouchier in the back because so often I wear ponytails. So that means I have some room for that ponytail in the back of my head. And yeah, I like it. I think it turned out good. I don't know if you know the trick with your hand. So Crystal had posted something asking if people measure the crowns of the hats as they're making them because they were turning out so big. And I have not measured the circumference of this. I just know this fits my head. But I also know I have a larger head. Anyway, the hand trick. If you make the crown of your hat, so from the heel of your hand to the tip of your middle finger, it will fit your head. Boom! That is the crown of your head. So you just make that flat little circle so it fits your hand, and you know. So I don't get measuring tape out. I don't know. I actually do know because I was curious and I measured. My hand is 6.5 inches from that point to that point. But before I check that out of curiosity, if you're curious, if you also multiply that by 3.14 or pi, you'll get the circumference of the hat, and that should be whatever you want the hat to be around the head. If you want to get the mathematics of hat making. But that's such an easy trick, and you've always got your hand with you, right? If you're crocheting. But I'm sorry, I've lost myself with my own very bad joke. Anyway, so yeah, I measured it. It fit the hand trick and all of that good stuff. I don't always have a measuring tape in my notions pouch, which is probably poor form. I probably should. So yeah, so I have 2 more hats for my hat challenge. This one, the Quicksilver beanie, that was a really easy, fun hat. It's all ribbed. I was a little confused because in the video Crystal said she didn't have a fully ribbed beanie on her channel, but there's like a blue multicolor one, and I know I've made it. But honestly, I haven't gone back to check to see what's different. But yeah, this was just a fun, easy beanie, and you could just make that as long as or short as you wanted, you know. I would say, I think if you were going to change the size of the crown, you probably have to watch. You couldn't stop at just any round. I think you have to stop on a particular round. I think you probably have to stop on an even round. But maybe not even each even would work. Because you want your ribs to end up being one post, one normal, one post, one normal. So yeah, I don't know. You'd have to think. You'd have to think. I'm sure you could work it out. I'm sure you could work it out. But like I said, the pattern as she did it worked out perfectly for me. The final thing is, the final thing I completed is Bingo's Granny Square Sweater. It has transformed again. So I was working on it after I filmed, and she tried it on again as I was trying to rework the arms. And again, there was, as I started the arm, it was fine, but as it got longer, there was too much bulk under her armpit. I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I ripped out all of the sleeves and started over. So I got it basically down to just like it was a tank almost, like a tank top. And I thought I would try to add panels at the side here to close this gap and give me a smaller starting hole for the sleeve. That was my brilliant idea. So I made those panels and tried it on, and she said, yay, done. I was like, no, I haven't added the sleeves yet. And she said she wanted short sleeves. And I was like, but I want to make sleeves. And then Brian's like, well, why can't you just leave it like that? I was like, because I want to make sleeves. And she just kept saying, no, I like it. So it doesn't have sleeves. It's a short sleeve now. Maybe it's more of a vest, but I still think it's cute. And it's done now. All the things are woven in. But see, those are the little panels I added to make a smaller armhole for her. And that's what it did. I think what honestly I should have done is I had this extra increase here, which I didn't need. I don't know why I did that. I just wasn't thinking. And then I should have stopped the yoke probably 3 rows sooner. But that's okay. That's okay. She loves it. She adores it. I still think it's cute. I did add a row of just single crochets around the edge to tie that pink in there. And we're complete. There's a cat here. There you go. For the base here, I don't even remember how many rows. I just did front post double, normal double, front post double, all the way around, and then ended it with 2 rows of single crochets, or is that just 1 row of single crochets? That's just 1 row of single crochets to try to stop it from curling like that. And there we go. So it's done. I'll get a picture of her wearing it. I don't have one right now. The only whip I am going to show, because I want to keep this mercifully short and not yawn too much on you. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. This bronchitis is kicking my behind. I did start my project for the Creator Spotlight. So each month I like to make an item and have that be one of the prizes for the Spotlight. This month we are featuring JaydaInStitches. So I wanted to do something a little different because I know everyone's time is tighter in November and December, and including mine. So I was looking and I picked out, she has a V-stitch cowl. So I thought, oops, oh, I didn't put my stitch marker in it, but I left my hook hanging there. Whew. Okay, so I'm using my 5.5 millimeter Susan Bates hook, and I have, where's a full cake of it? This is the cake I'm working off of. Premier Sweet Roll Sprinkles is what I'm using. Here we go. And this colorway is Blueberry Sprinkle, I think, something like that. Periwinkle Sprinkle. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to make this cowl. I have 3 cakes of this yarn. This cowl is not going to take all 3 cakes. But my plan is, she also has a matching hat and fingerless gloves pattern. So I'm going to make this cowl. So you'll have the cowl. Here it is working up. I think it's looking cute. I think it's cute. And to the winner will get my extra 2 cakes, and they can decide if they want to make the matching hat, if they want to make the fingerless gloves, if they want to do anything else with it. It's totally up to them, but they will have the yarn to do with as they please if they want to make their own set. And plus, I figure fingerless mitts are a bit personal to make. Like, people have such different hand sizes. I'm not super comfortable making fingerless mitts for another person. That's just me. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, maybe the other whip. Nah. Well, I did start working on another Mary Maxim review yarn. That's right there. Those are my finished projects. That's my whip I'm showing. On the mannequin, this is the Lacy Crochet Shawl. It's a free pattern on Yarn Inspirations. It uses Burn Nat yarn. I use Ice Cream Divagations in taffy. This is my Sally wrap. It's a BagODay pattern. Simple crochet wrap, easy crochet wrap. She uses white Karen latte cake in the picture. It's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. This one is equally as beautiful, but I used Kissy Kissy. I call it my Sally wrap because most of the yarn in there came from Sally Horner very kindly. The other thing, I'm not wearing anything I made today. The other thing, I promised I would tell you about my book. I always take the dust jacket off when I'm actively reading a hardcover. But I did get Rebecca Yarros Iron Flame. I pre-ordered it from Amazon. It came smooth as silk as it should have. I know there's nightmares about people not getting the book, and I feel very bad about that. But I do feel happy that I got my book, and my book is in perfect condition. I know a lot of people got books that were in pretty poor condition, but mine's in very good condition. Although I do think, I read somewhere that they thought they used the wrong spray, and I kind of think they did. It doesn't quite look right on the black sprayed edge, but yeah, like right there, it's all messed up. But I didn't buy it for the aesthetics of the book, so it doesn't really bother me. And plus, it's going to be on your shelf like this. You're not even going to see it. But yeah, I am now just over halfway done. What, maybe 2/3 done? I haven't checked the page count. I'm enjoying it. It is certainly just a fun, fast, light read. This isn't high fantasy. Although some of the themes on there, it's hard to say it's fun, because there is some, if you're looking for triggers, there is some torture scenes in there, which are not very much my favorite to read, but you know, you can read it fast and skim if you don't if you don't want to read those parts. But yeah, I think honestly, to me, it feels a bit rushed in the storytelling, and I worry she was pressured to get it out a bit too quickly and wasn't prepared given the popularity of the Fourth Wing book. That's just my opinion. I am still enjoying it. I think it's supposed to be a 5-book series in the end. 3 or 5, I don't know. So if you know, I am preparing myself. The middle book of a trilogy, I never like. The middle movie of a trilogy, I never like. The Empire Strikes Back, not my favorite Star Wars movie. But, you know, the traditional arc of a trilogy, the traditional arc of a 3-act play or a 5-act play. At the end of the middle, you're supposed to put the characters in a very bad situation. I am obviously not at the end of this book. However, knowing that is the traditional arc of storytelling, I am prepared for this to end badly, or end in not a happy manner. You get my drift. And based on some of the non-spoiler things I'm seeing on Instagram, that they're saying they're like, you know, there's pictures of people just like shaking after finishing it. And I fully expect that it will not end in a happy place. What that happy place is, I don't know yet because I haven't finished it. And I haven't actually read any spoilers. I generally don't mind reading spoilers. Like, it doesn't impact my enjoyment of the book, but I've just avoided them for this. Yeah, like I said, it feels a little rushed. The pace is a little jagged. So far, like I said, I'm 2/3 in the way. If you're looking for saucy bits, spicy bits, there was one extra spicy bit, and then there was one other kind of spicy bit, but not super spicy. And if you're looking for the spice factor, there is spice though, because I fully understand some people don't like any spice in their books. And to each their own. I am not a heavy spice person at all, but a little bit of spice doesn't bother me. And it wasn't that extreme spice. It does use a lot of coarse language. If you don't like F-bombs, swear words, stuff like that, this isn't going to be the book for you. But yeah, it's still dragons, magic, and some romance in there. There's some lies. There's some surprises. There's always got to be twists and turns, right? But yeah, let's see how the battle for the continent goes. I'm going to let you off there and stop rambling. I will see you guys later. Bye!